big key moments in the second half for me. Let's take
There
execution out of the equation.
was the Michael Morgan ruled off try for the obstruction.
But that was an obstruction.
Oh, completely. I thought it was absolute garbage that the referee sent it up
as a try.
I couldn't believe it.
Well, I'm not ref bashing. He saw it as a try. It got rightly turned over. That's what.
But he was right there. He was 5 yards away from a bloke running into a bloke. It was unbelievable. I couldn't fathom it.
No. Look, the thing is...
Because all you need is Ben Baylor to shit it and think I don't want them to think I'm being a homer here.
Yeah.
And it was a try. It was garbage. Couldn't believe it. This is me being a fan of it.
A week prior to that, we're praising the referee for backing himself to make the right call, and that's perfect. All right, that referee that backed himself to make the right call didn't get the gig in the final. A referee who uses the term a lot got the gig. So send it up. It got turned over. Everything that should have happened did happen.
Apart
for whatever
from the referee
reason,
giving it as a try.
Apart from the referee who gave it as a try and field. Yes, it was the wrong call, but he sent it up as a try.
Yeah.
So it's not one of those ones that goes up and comes down the same way. It's one of those ones where you look at it and go, well, he sent that, but that will get overturned, and the system worked. So I wasn't too keen to dwell on it. I was very relieved that nothing ridiculous happened in Ben Thaler's brain now. But yeah, for me, it comes down to those two. I don't want to talk about not executing. I want to talk about those two instances for me. They were the key points in that second half where we were unable to score for different reasons. That's how I'm looking at it. That comforts me more than, if we've just done this, and if we've just done that. I don't want to make it about someone's failure. I want to make it about someone's great defensive efforts. And they were two great defensive plays by Australia.
It kind of feels like a collective failing as well, though.
Well, we collectively failed to win the game.
Yeah.
But... And I don't like to... It's hard to try... there's a lot of positives to take from this.
Completely.
But the bigger thing... Look, the fact it was Australia 6, England 0. This was the closest we've been to them for a long time. We're in the World Cup final for the first time in a long time. The Wayne Bennett era has proven, in my mind, to be successful at England. The problem now is how is this carried forward?
Well, this is the way we wrap this up, isn't it, with this?
Yeah.
So, no Sean O'Loughlin next time around in 4 years' time. And no player like him I wouldn't expect.
There doesn't look to be anybody immediately jumping out, does there?
No James Graham next time around.
No.
No Chris Hill next time around. And Chris Hill was fantastic.
Chris Hill's World Cup was phenomenal. But...
Certainly no James Roby, who again was fantastic.
Yeah.
Having said that, we do have other outstanding players that will be around in 4 years' time for that next World Cup.
Yeah.
Josh Hodgson will still be around.
Yeah.
Darryl Clark will still be around.
Yeah. Alex Wormsley will still be around.
Well, I was just talking about the hugging position there.
All right, fair enough. So I was talking about... You mentioned that people in the front row won't be around.
No... Maybe no Sam Burgess.
Certainly...
What's he at now? 28, 29?
32 going into that. Less effective.
Is he about that age? I don't know.
He's 28.
Yeah.
Less effective.
You forget because he's been around for so long. But that's another reason why he might not be around.
But his fitness is astounding. He's an astounding player. But
he spoke really well, didn't he, after the game? Emma was really impressed.
Yeah.
He was like...
He's very well, but he gets that media. He's very good. He's very affable, isn't he, Sam Burgess? He's been a fantastic servant of the game in every possible... You won't hear a cross word about Sam Burgess from me.
Yeah, so we have other players who will still be around.
Yeah.
What do we have that's coming through that's gonna... Kevin Brown won't be around. Widdop and Gale maybe won't be... Gale won't be in the England side in 4 years' time.
No, because Gale will be...
I wouldn't have thought.
No, Gale will be replaced. Widdop probably...
Well,
there's a lot of questions
turns 30 this year, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so you can't see Luke Gale being the answer to that question in 4 years. But that's the big question. Halfback has always been the question.
One of the things that might answer it is what goes on with where someone like a Sam Tompkins ends up playing over the next few years.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Because if he moves back into the halves for Wigan, that's not necessarily a bad thing, I don't think.
Because I don't think any of these younger players that were mentioned there by someone...
Lilly, Patton...
Yeah.
Truman... Well, Jake Truman's too young to even know about it.
I don't think any of those players are gonna... I don't imagine George Williams ever really... reading opposition defences properly. God, I was nearly been watching too much NFL. Defences. I don't see him organising players around him completely. I really wish I did see him doing that because that's the only thing, that sort of moment of composure when the play of the ball's happening, that is missing from his game from making him the best halfback in the world.
Yeah.
But he hasn't got it.
No.
and I'm worried that he'll never have it.
The X Factor player for me is Jacob Truman, because we just don't know enough about what his potential development will be over the next 4 years.
Yeah, but 2 years ago, everyone thought Lily should be, or 18 months ago, everyone thought Lily should be starting for England, and then he fucking was in the Super 8.
I'm not saying Jacob Truman will be playing for England in 4 years' time. What I'm saying is, out of the 4 of those people that Lee talked about, Williams, Patton, Truman and Lily, the most unknown quantity is Jake Truman.
Yeah.
For me, Lily isn't panning out how we thought he would 2 years ago. He might have a stellar season next year for Leeds and shut me the fuck up. George Williams, you just alluded to, and Dec Patton, I don't think he's going to be the answer.
Well, his own club don't think is the
exactly.
answer.
Exactly. If you're not playing regularly for a side that makes the middle eights, you certainly shouldn't be playing for England. Although apparently that doesn't matter.
So then the only last thing to talk about, I suppose. I mean, look, Percival could improve defensively. Watkins has taken this length of time to improve decision-making wise and defensively wise.
Yeah.
So Percival could have that same thing, that someone does trust him on that global stage in 4 years' time, when he'll be, 27, 28.
Yeah.
Gildart will be there still. So I do think that we're going to have a stronger position there to go with. I don't have any concerns about our wing positions, because even if Hall won't be there, but but still, Tom Davies is 19. Basically, so I'm not worried about that, because Joe Burgess,
there's a
have a go at him. Seven tries in 13 NRL games. Find me a guy who did that in his debut NRL season at 19 years old, 20 years old, who scored a try a game in Super League either side of that. So he's only 22. We've still got, and that's just at my club.
Yeah,
and we can look around the league at people who can come in and do jobs.
Jack Walker may well end up being. He'll be 21 at the next World Cup.
Star fullback for
22 at the next World Cup. He could tick up and be good, but we're looking too far into the future. The immediate question that needs to be solved for me is Wayne Bennett going to be the coach in 4 years? And of course the answer is no.
Do we even really want him to be?
Well, I think we need someone who's going to carry... Look, the way to beat them, as has been demonstrably proven, the way to get close to them is to play them at their game and then have a plan B and execute in attack. The Super League style... And the approach that we've had over the last few years hasn't been good enough.
So what we need is Wayne Bennett in some sort of
consultancy capacity and sticking to a game. So that he's still on the
payroll, and that he'll still be around the camp around important times. But I think you need someone else who's gonna be able to bring that other dimension confidently. And I don't think anyone put under Wayne Bennett is going to be confident enough. Anyone from our setup, from the Super League setup, is ever going to be confident enough, unless they're a gobshite who doesn't actually talk the right way about things, of chirping up against Wayne Bennett within that system to say, actually, what about this now?
Yeah.
So I think you need your head coach to be from our system.
I think you're right. But I don't think playing, as much as we say, extol the virtues of the open style of football you get in the Super League compared to what they do in the NRL, and say we need to get better at what we do and put it up against the absolute cream of Australian execution, and that machine gets us any closer than what we've done has. So, and we need to carry on this project and this idea that we're going to match them and play them at their game, and then try and find that spark and that little bit of something extra that we so very nearly had in this game.
The next step is
take us through.
The next step is being at the next level. For the next step is being able to play our game like the Australians play their game. They play a bit freer against the lesser countries.
I'm racking my head to think of who I would like to come in and replace Wayne Bennett, and from within the current Super League coaches, I just don't see anybody carrying it on that way. I think, Darryl Powell comes in to coach England. Does he want the job? Probably not.
It does, but it'll be a different way.
But it'll be a different way of doing it. And I don't think it gets us any closer. That's the thing. I think we've hit on the right way to go about getting our international team, not the competitions, not Super League versus NRL, our international teams closer to Australia than we have for a very, very long time. And I think we've hit upon the right way of going about it. And I think we need to find a way to carry that on. And within those structures and within that system, engineer a way of just that little bit better end set, just that little bit better kicking game for territory, and just that little bit more attacking verve. That's where we need to fix up, because everything else fell into place, and it's not done for
patience.
It's not done for 25 years. Absolutely.
Halfbacks with patience, with game understanding.
But the thing is, look at the halfbacks then. Look at Australia's halfbacks. Cooper Cronk, rafts of experience, winning.
Oh, that's the other thing we've not really looked at. Where are they going to be in 4 years' time? No Thurston, no Cronk, no England.
They're going to be perfectly.
No Smith.
They're going to be perfectly fine. They're going to be perfectly fine. Yes, there's been a golden. Well, but they were saying that when Darren Lockyer retired. Like, what are we going to do?
Well, Lockyer and Johnson.
I think they'll be all right. They are always going to have that. Australia, you never need to worry about. They're going to be. They're going to be brilliant forever.
Do you think? But do you actually? The thing is, we should. That's one thing we need to celebrate about this Australia side. And they won a World... And we've talked about England because we're English and we care and we're gutted as fans. And that's obviously that'll have come across in completely from what we've been saying.
Yeah.
But... And I was devastated, upset, gutted. Still am a bit about what happened on Saturday morning. But... For Australia, for what happened for them, for the way they reacted to the game, with the comments they were saying about, Smith saying it's the toughest game he's ever played in, or one of the toughest, and he's played in every sort of tough game. But also for them to have won a World Cup on home soil, they've not done that for so many years because they lost the last one, and every other one in my lifetime, as apart from the sort of weird one in the sort of early 90s that wasn't really played anywhere. Has been in England.
Yeah.
Other than the one they lost.
Well, the next one is in...
England.
The one after that is the X Factor one for me, the United States.
Well, we haven't talked about that. England, New Zealand playing in the USA next June. Or June, July? Is strongly muted. Denver being the front-running place to play. I would have thought they would have gone for somewhere...
East Coast. And
more... Or at the furthest west would have been like maybe Chicago or somewhere where we've seen rugby union have a lot of success around that area.
Yeah.
And to America, rugby's rugby. They don't really know, so it could work. And you do have a rugby league team there as well. But anyway, that's cool. That's a development towards that long-term plan. But back to the Australia side of things.
Yeah.
We also need to celebrate that, okay, they were missing some of the golden generation from this side as well, but we've been able to enjoy these players doing what they've done. And we might not always like the way they've done it over all of the time, but to be honest, I don't think we are ever going to see the likes of this again in the same side.
No, probably not.
Because
Smith, Cronk and Slater.
So much of what we do in sport and all of this is look back, and in society and in life now actually and everything, is look back and remember things a little bit more fondly than we experienced them at the time. Someone might become a club legend or whatever in the past. Sorry, who's been there in the past, because you'll remember the highlights when actually at the time you might have... like. A good example is Pat Richards. By the end of his Wigan career, and when he came back and played for Catalans against us and that sort of stuff,
he was a club legend. First season,
he was an absolute joke and liability, and you wanted him back on the plane. But no one thinks about him in those
terms
now. No one remembers the bad. No one remembers the bad games that all the legends had that you talk about in the 80s and what have you. And all these immortals or whatever. And the history books are about the winners and that sort of stuff. These people are in the history books as they're playing. Complete and not over-celebrated for the successes because their successes are off the charts. Their origin run, their international run, this 14-game unbeaten run by the Aussies and stuff, they're all just outstanding things that they weren't just part of. It wasn't just like... they were in the 17. They were everything of those games.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, okay, Thurston possibly even more so than Cronk in a lot of that period. But ever since they got into those sides, be it all the rep sides they've been in, the club side they've been in, they've been competitive, they've been champion sides.
They've done it for years and years.
And it's been so consistent. And they don't look like slowing down either.
No.
I mean, Billy Slater in the last 6 months has been as good as Billy Slater was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
As good as he was 6 years ago when he was probably at his best. And Cameron Smith, I mean...
he was one of the greats of all time.
To have him playing in the NRL and James Roby playing in the Super League during the same period of time, of this time of watching Rugby League, I don't think you're going to get I can't imagine you're going to get better out of the 9. More consistency, should I say,
for that
out
number,
of the 9 position.
I don't think so either.
Phenomenal.
And I think that's a nice way to round this off.